that kind of leads into our final segment of the night, kind of where we're going to finish tonight. And the final segment of the night is I want to kind of put a spotlight back on you, Nathan, but and not just you, but something iRacing is getting ready to kick up. So, everybody in the world watches well, not everybody in the world, but everybody in the iRacing world it talks about and their goal is they want to make it to the Coke series. That's where the big money is at, the pro drivers, and that's all. But that's on the oval asphalt side. It's got the NASCAR sponsorship, got the Coke sponsorship, blah, blah, blah. And I mean, I'm not saying blah, blah, blah is a bad thing, but let me say blah. That's what people talk about. Blah, blah, blah. They're always talking about, right? It's broadcast on
the Coke series.
Yeah, the Coke series.
Everybody knows the Coke series.
Yeah. And then not only the Coke series, but everybody wants to get it. So it's Road to Pro, CO for the trucks, the trucks, Road to Pro. And so we gear up for it every year. Everybody starts talking about it, and teams start stacking up their teams, and they get everybody off to where they're going to be. They start working on their Road to Pro sets and all that stuff. So, but that's what we've got on the asphalt side if somebody wants to do it. But on the dirt side, it's been iRacing really hasn't had that consistently, right? I mean, like they've been kind of hit or miss with it, and like it doesn't get this kind of same kind of publicity or push from iRacing, I feel like. And so, but that's where you're at, and that's where your passion's at. So I know that you would obviously, I mean, if you're competitive and you have aspirations there, that you would hope they would do something like that. And they've been teasing it and talking about it for like a couple of years now. I mean, it's like, come on, man, like you need a crap or get off the pot. Really? I mean, like
exactly.
They've been talking about it for a couple of years. And so, but now I think they're finally doing it. You and I were talking about this in pre-production. So I'm going to kind of turn it over to you. Tell us about what they promised they were going to do, how long you've been waiting, what they're doing, and how this affects you.
Well, I joined as the most recent late model pro series was happening, and late models are my thing. They've been my thing since I started. So I wasn't able to get in on that one because I just started, but I was like, they do the sprint cars and the late models. And I was like, I'll just get in the next one, hopefully, if I'm good enough by then. And they announced a Sprint Car Pro Series. And they ran that. And then, a little bit of time went on. They announced another Sprint Car Pro Series. And they ran that. And then they just recently did another one. And I'm like, man, just do another late model Pro Series. Apparently, there was a little bit of drama the last time they did it. And they were kind of hesitant. They couldn't get a sponsor or something like that. But they finally announced it again. And, man, in my opinion, and I've went back and watched, the replays of the last time they did a late model pro series, but in my opinion, so much has changed. The cars, they got a new tire model. The tracks have gotten a new surface model kinda to make the tracks wear a little differently. There's so many more big names that could go pro now that, just weren't around the last time that they did it, which was like, I think mid to late 2020. I mean, including myself, that I think I could go pro, but they finally announced Butt Kicker, the company that makes the little.
Yeah.
Robert,
Robert's
yeah.
a Butt Kicker little customer over there.
So, I mean, I got to thank you because they're the ones sponsoring the new late model pro series. So if they weren't getting revenue, they wouldn't be able to sponsor a new pro series. But it's $10K to win if you win the points championship for the pro series itself. I myself, the last time that they ran it, I think it was Morton Buildings was the sponsor. Either way, they kept 15. I don't know how they do it on the oval side of things, but they keep the top 15 in points from the last time that they ran the pro series for late models.
Mm-hmm.
The late models and the sprint cars have different, completely separate pros. Some that have pro licenses in both, but the steps to get it and the steps to keep it are different because the series are different. But the last time that they ran a pro series, the top 15 in points kept their pro license. And now starting May 2nd, they will be running another pro series qualifier, and the top 20 in points after 6 weeks with one drop week get their pro license and get the chance to run at a 10K championship. And nice. Like I said, I joined right as they were, I think, in the middle of the season for the last time that they did this pro series for late models. And I've been waiting and like kind of enjoying this time that they've allowed to go by in between, because like I feel like all this extra time has allowed me to get even better. You know, I'm better this month than I was last month, and you know, if they would have announced it then, who knows? You know, and so I've kind of enjoyed, and I'm glad that they took so long, because now I feel like I'm in a really good spot, a really good chance to qualify. I mean, I think I'm in the top 25 in the world for iRating on dirt ovals. So I mean, I'm pretty much guaranteed to be in top split for the pro qualifiers, which gets me the best chance to get the most championship points. But it's going to be tough to qualify, but that's been the goal since I started. I was like, man, I want to be considered. I mean, how many people can be considered a pro? You know, I'd love that. Like, whether, no matter what you do, how many people can say that they're a pro at it? I mean, not trying to toot my own horn. No, I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but how many people can say that they're ranked in the top 25 in the world in anything? Like, it. Sometimes I don't do it often, because I don't like to toot my own horn, like I said, but sometimes it is nice to like look and see, like, man, I've actually accomplished something here. You know, like
I did this. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's pretty neat to see that you know, I'm up there in the rankings with a lot of, I mean, there's a lot of people, and I'm up there in the top 25. I mean, I say top 25 because, you know, if you're looking on the pages, 25 is the cutoff for the first page. I'm on that front page, you know, I'm in the top 25, which is really, really cool. And like I said, you know, like I said earlier, I owe a lot of it to Colin Bocus, a lot of it to Zach. I mean, he's not my teammate anymore, but he did help me out a lot whenever I was with him. And Ken, you know, Ken was like, being on Ryko, Ken gave me my first shot as someone being on like an actual team, like a big setup shop team like that. So without Ken giving me the shot, I would have never met Zach and learned a lot from Zach. That whole ZMR team, and you know, now we got Kiefer building the setups, and Kiefer's really good. Damian Kiefer, he's a basically, in my opinion, a shoe-in to be a pro as well whenever they do that qualifier. Similar story to me with when he joined and when he started, and finally we're both getting our shot to go pro. So, you know, shout out to all of them. I'm just hoping that, you know, these 6 tracks with one drop week, you know, I think really I'm strong at all of them, but it's tough, you know. It's none of them are like my favorite track. So I'm hoping that we can at least put together, you know, some good strong runs and just get to the pro series, man. I don't want to, you know, count my eggs before they hatch. Count my chickens before they hatch. What's the phrase? Count your chickens. I don't want to count the chickens before they hatch, man. I just want to get to the pro series. I want to become a pro. You know, I'm looking forward to them like saying like, hey, we need a picture of you for your, you know, what's your number? You know, what team are you on? You know,
we're going to tell you the same thing we told Tommy Gossett. When you become a pro, don't forget about us. You have to come back and
put it in your contract. You can come back
and tell us about being a pro.
No matter what, no matter how it goes, I'm willing to come back on, you know, after the 6 weeks are over and talk about how it went, you know, because I'm running it either way. I'm not going to get halfway through and say this isn't worth it. I'm running it all the way through. So, you know, hopefully we go pro. You know, hopefully we get that little black icon or white icon.
That's cool.
That says
pro. That's the status symbol you get in the race. It's kind of a double-edged sword.
Right.
Well, it's kind of a double-edged sword, isn't it, though? Because like it's a status symbol, and some guys see it and they're like, "Oh, this dude's a pro. I'm going to let him
target."
Go. You know, yeah. Some guys it's both. It's a double-edged sword. Some guys are like, "Well, this guy's a pro. I'm going to respect that and let him go do his thing because he's obviously better than me." And then other guys, oh my god, they're like just the opposite. Well, this guy's a pro. I'm going to see how hard I can race him and see if I can get around him. I mean, I've seen it both ways in the asphalt side.
I don't know, man. On the dirt oval side, I mean, me personally, once I finally got into top splits, which was probably around 2,500 because of just the low participation, like we were talking about in pre-production, where just the low participation can lead to like some lower splits with you know, guys that could be, you know, 8K are racing against, you know, 2K guys. But anyways, I've been running around pros basically for, a year and a half now. And for me, anytime I saw a pro in there, it was always kind of like this, oh man, this guy is top tier. This guy is really good. He's proven it. And all I can do from this guy is learn and hope
and not hit him.
And yeah.
Don't wreck the pro.
Right.
The guy that does that.
I don't want to be the guy that pisses off the pro.
Yeah, exactly.
But they're people just like anybody else, and they can be beat. And outrunning a pro is a pretty good feeling, because you're like, well, if I can beat them, then I mean, who's to say I couldn't be a pro then? I mean, everyone has their bad days, but if I can consistently run with and outrun pros, then what makes me any different? I could totally do it. So.
Well, I remember there was guys when I started in oval that, like, in asphalt side, that like I look up to. Like, I watched them. I did what you're talking about. I went in their cockpit, watched them. Like, they always finished good. They were like, I just felt like they were just all around like great. And like, I was like, I want to go figure out what they're doing, and I'm going to figure out how to do it myself. And not only that, I want to be like them. That there's have characteristics I want to be like. And I remember the first times when I started getting better, the first couple of times I beat them, I was like, I was like, okay,
it's a great
I've
feeling.
done it. Yeah, it's like I have done it now. I'm competitive with these guys now. So like we're equals. It was just cool. It was a feeling of accomplishment, and it was also kind of validation of all the hard work I put in.
Right.
And then the third thing was, it was kind of like, I actually am competitive, and I'm running at that level now. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I belong. That's it. Yes, that was what I was looking for. I belong.
And they don't have the notoriety, the status of like, Dale Earnhardt Jr., but having that pro license indicator, that pro license, thing next to their name kind of puts them on that level where you're like, I outran, a pro. It'd be like if you got in a race with Dale Earnhardt Jr. on iRacing and you beat him. It's something that you want to like tell someone, like, I outran this guy and he's a pro, or he's, well known. Like, you just kind of, it's something to be proud of, because like you said, you put in a lot of time, and you assume that they do too, or you assume that, they're an alien and, they're from a different planet and just somehow they're better. But if you beat them somehow, then you're like, well, I don't know how I did that, but
All right. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this short clip from our Alien Factory podcast. Be sure to check us out every Sunday night at 10 p.m. Eastern time here on our YouTube channel. That is youtube.com/Area 51 Alien Factory. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you have not subscribed yet. We really appreciate your subscription to the channel. Also, if you really want to help the channel out, the best thing you can do is share this video anywhere you can, on Facebook, on Twitter, Discord, anywhere that you can share the video. We'd appreciate it. That's really going to help our channel out. Also, get down to the bottom and you can check out the description below. There's some promo codes and affiliate links down there and different things down in the description. So don't forget to get and check that out. And if you would like to get notified anytime that we go live with either our podcast, live streaming races, or when we upload any of our great on-demand content series here on the channel, just hit that bell icon down below and you will get notified anytime that new content comes up on the channel. We appreciate you sticking with us this video. And as always, we will see you in the next one.